So let's begin today with another segment of Panchatantra by Aparna Ramaswamy.
Good morning, I'm Aparna Ramaswamy narrating the Panchatantra. Continuing from last episode, where we are today is the story of the jackal and the drum. To remind viewers who missed perhaps an earlier episode, which you can view online, the jackal is talking to the Lion King and telling the Lion King we can't always act in fear. And he goes on to tell the story of the jackal and the drum. There was a jackal who had not eaten for several days. He was hungry, he was starving, he was lean, and as he comes near the forest, he sees this setting where there had been a fight in the past, and he hears this loud noise. A part of him is scared, a part of him is curious, and he's thinking maybe there's some food over there I can get. So overcoming his fear, he starts walking to this forest and peers where the noise is coming from. He sees this huge battle drum and long blades of grass growing by it. So every time the wind blows, the grass is hitting against the drum, and that's making this huge noise. And the jackal thinks, maybe there is food inside the drum. Let me go see. This seems like a big creature or an object. There's bound to be something there for me. So he slowly creeps up to the drum, gnaws his way, bites through the hide to go into the drum, and then finds it's absolutely hollow. It's empty. And he feels so foolish that this empty drum had scared the wits out of him. So the jackal, talking to the Lion King, says, just like that jackal, we should not let this incident where you heard a huge noise near the riverbank frighten us. We should go find out what it is. The lion says, my army of animals simply don't have that courage. I can't ask them to do that. And the jackal says, do you want me to do that? The lion's kind of concerned. Here is this jackal who's been out of favor. Should he really trust this jackal? Then he decides, well, I have nothing to lose. Let me ask him to go check it out. So he says, okay, fine, go find out what happened. And he is a little impressed that this jackal has that kind of courage. So the jackal goes and he goes into the noise and he sees it's just a bull. But he's a smart one. He says, how can I use this to get back into the good books of the Lion King? So he comes to the lion and says, I saw this creature. It's a huge bull. Do you want me to go bring the bull over here? And the lion says, yes, go do that. So the jackal goes back to the bull and tells him, how can you make these huge bellowing noises over here? Don't you know the Lion King is the king of this forest and you need his permission to even be here? And the bull gets so frightened. He says, oh, jackal, you sound like someone who's a friend of the Lion King. Can you put in a good word for me? Can you make sure that I'm safe? So the jackal goes back to the lion, and says, well, I met the bull and he is an arrogant animal. He says, I don't need the Lion King's permission to graze over here. This is God's land and I'm going to graze this because God's given me the permission. So the Lion King says, then what did you say to him? And the jackal says, well, I told him the lion is the king here, and if he doesn't have your blessings, he can't stay here. And the lion says, that's a good answer. Go bring him to me. So the jackal trots back to the bull and tells him, well, I argued with the lion with a great amount of difficulty. He says he'll consider giving you safe passage. He'll guarantee your safety. But you remember, if you ever forget that I'm the one who ensured your safe conduct, you'll be sorry. Just like the story of the fall and the rise of the wealthy merchant. So the bull says, what's that story? Please join us next week. We'll be happy to share with you the story of the fall and the rise of the wealthy merchant. This is Aparna Ramaswamy signing off with the Panchatantra.